Hello and thanks for joining us for THB 11 News at noon. I'm Jurnee Taylor and here are some of the headlines we're following on this Wednesday. Today marks 1 year since a gunman killed 19 children and 2 adults at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. In 6 minutes, we'll show you how Uvalde is remembering their loved ones today. Social media is a powerful tool that can be used to connect with friends and family, share experiences, and learn new things. However, it can also be a source of stress and anxiety, especially for young people.
A new survey points to parents' concerns about social media and body image. I'm Naomi Ruckham with tips on how to talk to your kids.
Plus, you don't want to miss today's must-see entertainment update at 12:22. We'll have everything you need to know about the new adaptation of the Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, The Color Purple, on its way to theaters. But also, first on this hump day, we hear the sirens going off, a little check for the tornado. It is hump day, and it's a nice one. Meteorologist Nathan, tell us what we can expect for the rest of the day, and I hope exactly this.
Good afternoon, Jurnee. It's a beautiful Wednesday all across central Arkansas. We're seeing a mixture of sunny clouds. Temperatures are warming up, but not too bad, into the upper 70s right now. A couple 80s showing up on the board in Batesville and also Jonesboro. More clouds down into south and southeast Arkansas and also over into west Arkansas. Here's the radar loop. All the showers and storms into Oklahoma, and you notice they're moving away from Arkansas. Now, I can't rule out there could be maybe a stray shower that does try to pop up with some daytime heating as we go into the late afternoon and evening hours. Best chance of that, you see it happening Searcy, Batesville, Jonesboro, but even here in central Arkansas, I would say it's about a 10%. You may see a quick shower. Temperatures today topping out into the mid-80s. When we go into the rest of the work week, we're going to talk about some lower humidity and also some cooler nights ahead. There's a nice Memorial Day weekend forecast that continues to hold strong. I'll have more details on that coming up.
Thank you, Nathan. Well, new at noon, Hot Springs police are asking for the public's help finding a missing man. 20-year-old Amir Ellis was last seen last Wednesday at a home on Rocky Reef Circle. If you know anything about where he may be or what led to his disappearance, you're asked to call Hot Springs police. And we go now to a developing story in North Little Rock, where police say one person is dead in a shooting there. Just before midnight, officers responded to the Hemlock Courts apartments off East Broadway Street. When they arrived, they found the victim on the ground in a parking lot. Investigators say he had been shot at least once and was pronounced dead at the scene. His identity hasn't been released yet, and police haven't arrested a suspect. And out in Pulaski County right now, officials are investigating a double homicide. 2 men were found dead this morning on the edge of the county line off Highway 161, just south of Scott. The bodies were transported to the state crime lab to determine how they died. State police is now taking over this investigation. And in a THB 11 update, the jury trial will continue today for a Little Rock police officer charged with having sexual abuse material involving a minor. A federal grand jury indicted Officer Eddie Scott Seaton after the police department and the FBI investigated him, searching his home in late 2019. They took a computer and other electronics, and Seaton was relieved of duty. He had been with the department since 2007. A lot of hard work has gone into cleaning up tornado damage in North Little Rock, and to show gratitude, the city is giving a raise to all city employees. They'll all earn 2% more than they currently do. Mayor Terry Hartwick says those employees deserve recognition for their hard work this past month and a half. Money will come from the city funds and kickbacks from FEMA, and city employees we spoke to say they don't do this for recognition, but it's nice to have it.
So this is really something special, not for those who are in the door, but those of all of us. It just goes to show, how much this city appreciates our hard work.
Now that money is retroactive to March 31st, the day the tornado hit North Little Rock. And in southeast Arkansas, the fire chief in Bluff is trying to plan for the future without a big boost of money after voters rejected a new dedicated sales tax. The 3/8 cents increase would have gone to improving facilities and equipment. Bluff Fire Department Chief Sean Howe says the price tag for one fire truck alone could cost anywhere from $700,000 to $1 million. Now, he has this year's budget is fine, but he's already looking ahead to next year, which could be tough.
We approach 24 budget cycle. There will be some challenges as to how do we address some of the needs that I talked about. How do we finance fire trucks? Do we purchase them outright? Do we finance them?
Now, he wants to remind people there's no threat to public safety. The men and women of the fire department will continue their duties, but since the tax proposal failed, the problems still exist. Well, today marks 1 year since a gunman entered a classroom at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, and killed 19 children and 2 adults. Lilia Luciano has been covering the story for this past year and spoke with families about their pain and frustration and why they can't leave.
For Andrea Herrera, surviving the mass shooting in Uvalde is still a daily recurrence.
It just goes in my mind, just like in loops.
She was not only at Robb Elementary that day, but her stepbrother, 10-year-old Jose Flores, was killed in the classroom next door. Andrea is still haunted by the thought of Jose's whereabouts during the shooting.
I always imagine him how his face is, and he's scared.
Andrea's mother, Cynthia, says her kid's mental health and school performance keeps declining, and the tension in town increasing.
Does it ever make you want to leave?
Yes, for sure.
Why are you still here?
Well, because he's here.
Jose.
Yeah. And it's harder just to pick up and leave.
Brett Cross, too, is tethered to Uvalde after burying his 10-year-old Uzziah Garcia.
If I stop, I'm useless.
For Cross, leaving Uvalde would also mean giving up on a year-long fight for answers and change.
To do what is right. You want me to stop? I've lost a kid. I ain't got anything else to lose.
Perhaps the most pressing failure, 376 law enforcement officers for more than 20 agencies waiting for 77 minutes before breaching through a classroom door.
There were officers in there that could have ended it, but were told to stand down, and they listened.
To mend the broken trust, the mayor of Uvalde, Don McLaughlin, recently hired an assistant police chief from outside the town. But like the families of the victims, McLaughlin is still waiting for results from the local district attorney's criminal investigation.
In 1 year's time, I've had not one briefing, not one.
Parents this week and last week have been visiting Robb Elementary for the first time since their children were killed in that classroom. It's something that some families asked for and that had been prevented because of the ongoing investigation. Robb Elementary will be demolished at some point, pending a court order. Lilia Luciano, CBS News, Uvalde, Texas.
Well, in another THB 11 update, we have a better idea of how debt ceiling talks are going today. Within the past hour, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said he's sending negotiators from Capitol Hill to the White House in hopes of wrapping up a deal, even though he says the sides are still far apart. Time is quickly running short here, and the Treasury Secretary is warning that the federal government could start defaulting on its loans as soon as June 1st. And the long Memorial Day holiday weekend is looming for lawmakers. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis plans to officially launch his candidacy for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination tonight. During a live appearance on Twitter, along with the owner of the social media giant, Elon Musk, he said he was reelected as governor by nearly a 20-point margin in November. Will be the second Republican to join the growing field of candidates this week. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott held a kickoff rally on Monday, but former President Donald Trump continues to dominate the field.
For the first time that something like this is happening on social media and with real-time questions and answers.
DeSantis will be huddling with his donors in the Miami area in the coming days before a formal campaign launch with his supporters and then a trip to those early voting states. The most recent CBS News poll shows Governor DeSantis trailing former President Trump by more than 30 points among likely Republican primary voters. Today, 62-year-old Arkansan Richard Barnett is set to be sentenced for his role in the January 6th Capitol invasion. He's convicted of 8 crimes. Jurors have rejected Barnett's claim he wound up in the Speaker's office suite while looking for a restroom. Prosecutors are asking for 7 years in prison and a $25,000 fine, but his attorneys are requesting no prison time. Well, after the break, we walk you through a new study on social media use and how it may be affecting your teen. Parents, you don't want to miss this report, but first let's check in with weather with Nathan.
It's a wonderful Wednesday weather-wise across central Arkansas, seeing a mixture of sunny clouds. Slim chance there could be a stray shower out there late this afternoon into this evening. And then we're done with the chance of rain going into Memorial Day weekend, which looks fantastic. I'll have more details on that forecast coming up.